Tonight, you'll understand why your mind can quietly distort reality without you ever noticing it. Not because it is trying to deceive you, but because it is trying to simplify the world. And sometimes, what simplifies reality also hides it. That's the danger. Because the things controlling your decisions are often the things you never see. You've judged someone too quickly, assumed a bad outcome before it happened, remembered only the parts that confirmed what you already believed, focused on one mistake, and ignored everything else, taken one event and turned it into a pattern. And in those moments, it felt reasonable. That feeling matters, because mental shortcuts often feel like clear thinking. Psychology calls these cognitive biases, patterns of thinking that help the mind move faster. Not truth, not logic. Shortcuts, they save time, reduce uncertainty, and help you make quick decisions. But speed has a cost, and that cost is accuracy. Some biases are quiet, confirmation bias. You notice what supports your belief and ignore what challenges it. Negativity bias. One bad moment feels heavier than 10 good ones. Catastrophizing. The mind takes a small problem and builds the worst possible future. Availability bias. The easiest memory feels like the most likely truth. Different biases, same result. Blind spots. A delayed reply feels like rejection. One failure feels like proof. One criticism feels bigger than 10 compliments. One bad memory feels more important than years of good ones. One fear feels like certainty. The event stays small, but the meaning expands. That expansion is the trap. Pause for a moment. What belief have you repeated so often that it now feels true without being tested? What fear feels real simply because you've rehearsed it? What story about yourself have you accepted too quickly? That question matters. Daniel Kahneman gave people a famous experiment. A woman named Linda, bright, intelligent, concerned with justice. People were asked, is Linda more likely to be a bank teller or a bank teller active in feminism? Most chose the second. It felt more believable, but it was statistically impossible. The mind chose the better story, not the better probability. Human beings do not like uncertainty. Certainty feels safer, even when it is wrong. That is why the mind fills gaps, builds stories, creates meaning, not to understand reality, but to stabilize emotion. And stability can create distortion. That is the trap. A thought feels true before it is examined. And once it feels true, you protect it, repeat it, build around it, until it becomes part of your reality, even if it began as a blind spot. That is how cognitive bias quietly controls your life. A shortcut appears. Emotion strengthens it. Bias protects it. Repetition reinforces it. And over time, it becomes the lens you see through. Not because it is true, but because it was never questioned. Write down one belief, fear, or assumption you've repeated to yourself this week. Ask, what evidence supports it? What evidence challenges it? Do not defend it. Observe it. Most people go through life being read, but the hardest patterns to see are often your own, and awareness is only the first layer. The Decoded Mind. Out.